This is University Duel 2025, Battle of the Best Brains. In every single aspect, the competing students are ready to win your respect by doing even things you don't expect. So whatever you suspect, you're free to join in and inspect, because based on now or in retrospect, they're going to show you they're better than every other prospect. It is the Battle of the Best Brains, and we're ready for the third round of group matches. It's the make or break moment. It's now or never for the schools as they hope to qualify for the quarterfinal stage of the competition. There are two games on the cards for us for today. As to match day 9 of experience, I'm building up to enjoying what the University of Port Harcourt can offer as they take on OOU, that's Olabisi Onabanjo University. And then later today, we should be able to enjoy Covenant University as they try to make a covenant with success and push themselves to the next level after a battle against the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, that's UNN. We're happy to be in the company of these amazing personalities who are like mentors to the students. Their success story in the real world can be a galvanizing factor to these students who are pushing to not just pass exams in school, but also to eventually get to the real world and become great in their respective rights. Best time to say hi to Timmy Lane. You know, I told him off the camera that he's a Timmy that can never get timid. Good to see you, man.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. And also this one, I had to go through a bit of, practice. And I was like, okay, let's get it. Slow and steady wins the race. Let's give this a try. Poafureno.
Perfect.
How are you doing? Welcome.
I'm fine, thank you.
I got you right.
Yeah, you did.
I'm going to start with you, Poafu, because I know that you attended, American University of Nigeria. Mm-hmm. What were the fondest moments and memories you have when you look back at your days in school?
The major highlight for me was the semester where I passed my physics, because I mean that was like a very tough semester for me. I don't like physics, and coupled with the stories that I've heard about that particular course, so when I was going there, I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. And then my first 2 tests, I didn't do too well, but over time, having to study with study groups and the rest and take my exams, and then I saw that I came out and then I passed the course. It was really an exciting moment for me, and also having the ability or having the opportunity to attend like events within school. There were events every week, so if you miss this week, you can definitely not miss next week. So you have events to attend every week, so your social life, your school life is balanced.
We can focus on the game to come because UNIPORT have a make or break reality for themselves against OOU. UNIPORT have gotten 1 win so far from 2 games. OOU have 6 points already, 2 wins for them. Before I ask about what you'll be expecting from this game, Timmy, I'd love to find out from you, how do you bounce back from disappointments as a human being?
The focus is what's in front of you. It's very easy to look back and then get discouraged, right? But when you focus in front of you, it's always a new game. It's always a clean sheet, as everybody likes to say. So I think that's what the team should focus on right now, from the team from UNIPORT.
UNIPORT's win was a win that gave them some level of confidence, right? Because for them it was a 20-6 point win over UNN. In fact, we use the words mark here, so 20-6 marks victory against UNN. And then they went up against Covenant University and lost by 74 to 20 points. That's why their mark difference is -40. So there's 3 points, but they are third because of that mark difference. Looking at this table, what comes to your mind, Poafu?
I think at this point they should be at the top of their game, because obviously they need to be able to beat OOU at this point. So I believe, or I hope that they should be ready for this round. I want to see the energy. I want to see that, okay, they've gone in, put in some work, and they're willing to take it.
OOU themselves are a fantastic bunch, Timmy. Now, they have been so good. They beat UNN 14-12 and also got some victory, dominant victory for that matter, against Covenant University. That's why they have 6 points. So you look at the schools they have beaten. the big UNN and the impressive Covenant University shows you that they are not pushovers by any means.
Yeah, and you know, it's very interesting when you look at the list. It was 2 federal universities and one that is the leader from the East and one of the leading private universities. And so you'd have thought a state school would crumble on that level of pressure. They've come through, they've shown who they are, and for right now, it's just for them not to be complacent. Yeah, right now at the home stretch, just take it easy, take a deep breath, and finish strongly.
I want to stick with OOU so you can look at this with me too. Just look at their stats in that 48 to 20 point win against Covenant University, and hey, they got a 28-point advantage eventually winning that. And well, they attempted as many as 33 questions, so they're quite a bold bunch. They don't shy away from trying to answer these questions, whether they are going to be right or wrong. And of course, most times they turned out being right, and that's why they won that. You compare that to 26 tries by Covenant University back then. That would be a strategy for them. You know, Timmy, I'll stick around with you because, you know, I'm thinking that that's what we should look forward to while getting into this game. OOU boys to be stepping to the plate and saying whatever question you throw at us, we'll try to give an answer. You
know, it was very interesting watching that round against Covenant University. They were much stronger in the general question. And, you know, in life, you need to have that balance, right? A more rounded view of it. We know they are negative marking and they have to be aware of that, right, when taking on so many questions. But it's a balance of those things. You need to be correct, but you need to be bold and go strong. And I think they've been able to do that perfectly, balancing both their academic life with their social life.
Compare that, Poafu, if you can, to what we saw from UNIPORT against UNN. Their only win so far in this, you know, competition. It was a 20-point to 6-mark win. What would be the strategy you advise them to take, comparing and contrasting UNIPORT and OOU stats coming into this?
Oh, well, I think...
so more like be more confident, be more vocal, don't be local, be international, you know?
And also they need to be more intentional, right? They need to have it at the back of their mind that, okay, this is a game that I want to be able to take home. So, I mean, you want to put in more, try attempting as much as you can to see that you get to that position at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, I'll just say basically they should have it at the back of their mind that they want to be winners, right? And they should be willing to put in their all to get that.
Our last 2 games have been good, made it to God. So this final one, we want to put in our best and make sure we come back with the win.
So far so good. We've contested for the first, second, and this is the last round, the 3rd round. We are very, very hopeful to this round. I will pray we give our best to make sure we qualify.
By your thoughts and sentiments, which of these 2 schools do you think will come out victorious?
Okay, from the start, I can see OOU, but then I'm supporting UNIPORT. So I'm hoping they
UNIPORT somehow step up to the occasion for you and then, you know, get something and ensure this smile of yours remains intact too. You know, I love the smile of yours, no doubt about it. And Timmy, I don't want you to frown, man. Which team are you going, believing that they will get the crown?
Maybe because I like a little bit of drama. OOU is already clearly in there. Right, so I'm going to support...
UNIPORT?
OOU.
Oh, okay.
So that UNN gets a chance. Last minute, let's see where that ends up. You know, just imagine a table of all 3 points and go down to the wire.
Yeah, exactly, because OOU will now go on 9 points. And then let's imagine UNN beats CU as Covenant. It's going to be 3 other teams on 3 points, and we'll now look at the mark differential.
Final mark differential. So that's
well, that drama goes to soon. Let's get into the first of the 3rd round of matches for the group stage of this epoch-making competition. It is University of Port Harcourt up against OOU. We'll find out at halftime after the quick buzz who has the initiative heading into the 2nd half.
Cornrows are always formed by how many numbers?
Even.
The first male musician to appear on the cover of Vogue is? Davis.
Justin Timberlake.
British fashion designer known for his ready-to-wear and haute couture collections for fashion houses is who? In Hawkeye, what does Yelena cook for Kate when...
Macaroni and cheese.
What popularized the concept of power dressing in the 1980s? Which British fashion designer has been a big influence on the punk scene? How many countries participate in Africa Cup? Kabir.
32.
In forecasting a horoscope, the heavens are commonly represented by a circle divided into 12 what?
Stars.
No.
Stars.
What term refers to the section of a map where symbols are listed and explained?
Scale.
Davis. Which R word symbolizing a commitment to democracy is shared in the official names of Kenya, Malawi, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia? By which length of time do we know the European conflicts lasting 116 years from 1337 to 1453? How many countries make up Middle Africa? Which one has the most extensive African art collection? In Spider-Man No Way Home, whose version of Spider-Man successfully
Tom Holland.
Davis? Which fashion company makes the fragrances Escape and Euphoria? Which fashion company makes the fragrances Escape and Euphoria? Audrey.
Savage.
Which DC villain is Justice League Big Bad Steppenwolf related?
Darkseid.
What continent has the most World Heritage Sites?
Africa.
Ezekiel. Who was the author who wrote Never Love a Stranger?
Maya Angelou.
Davis. What is the real name of the villain Red Skull? In Thor Ragnarok, who cameoed as Asgardian actor playing Thor in Loki's play? Which characters are described as being 3 apples high?
Smurfs.
Ezekiel. What was the name of the radiation that Steve Rogers was subjected to that transformed him into a super soldier in Captain America?
Tamari.
Ezekiel. How many matches are played per Six Nations Championship? Kabir.
4.
The champion trophy is associated with which sport? Whose photograph appears in the 1,000 naira note?
My Bonu
Ezekiel.
and My Bonu and
Inexhaustible energy sources are known as what? Davis.
Renewable energy.
The largest living mammals characterized by large brain, usage of hands, and complex behavior are who?
Primates.
Ezekiel. How many named Batman villains appear in Batman Begins?
4.
Davis. Which Italian city is known for fashion?
Milan.
Ezekiel. Where were the Olympic Games founded?
Ancient
Ezekiel.
Greece.
BTS is having a smash hit with a song about what household?
Butter.
Ezekiel.
Butter.
Baron Silas Greenback was the enemy of which character? Hillary Rhoda is the face of which brand?
Estee Lauder.
Where could you spend your God? Where is the grave of Oskar Schindler, a German industrialist credited with saving the lives of 1,200 Jews during the Holocaust? Which fashion brand did Marc Jacobs serve as the creative director between 1997 and 2014? Troy McClure appears in which cartoon series? What is the cause of Rift Valley fever, which has become widespread throughout sub-Saharan Africa? How How many Oscars did the movie Titanic win at the 70th Academy Awards in 1998? What type of Egyptian lettering was successfully deciphered with the use of Rosetta Stone? Among the following countries, Mali, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, in which country along the Middle Niger was the 18th century Bamana Empire founded? The role of the moderator on the nuclear power station is to what? What is the art of creating designs for knitted, woven, and
Textiles.
Hawkeye has how many children?
2.
Nadum.
2.
Glycyrrhiza glabra is better known as what? Which one had the most impressive architecture?
Davis.
Ouagadougou is the capital of what
Burkina
country?
Faso. Burkina Faso.
What musician is the lead singer of both Blur and Gorillaz, two popular British bands? What was the name of Michael B. Jordan's character?
Chimwanga.
Cornrows in the fashion world is what?
Style.
What was the name of the missile that Tony Stark was demonstrating?
Jericho. Jericho.
Who is the youngest woman to win Wimbledon? Jim Carrey portrayed which Batman villain?
The Riddler. The Riddler.
Old Dominion was the nickname of which US state?
Virginia.
Hello? How many official languages are spoken in China? What common, mostly harmless ailment results from intermittent contractions of the diaphragm? The African country mostly covered by the Sahara Desert, making it one of the hottest places on earth, is where? The soles of Christian Louboutin's shoes are which color? The Davis Cup is a prestigious competition between national teams. In which sport is it contested? Where is the origin of the brand Chanel?
This is the third round of matches we're watching right now, and this is the first of them all. OOU have the advantage at the moment over UNIPORT. I'm just looking through the stats, and this is where strategies will come into fruition. Are you guys shaken as to your initial predictions? You don't think of your life now?
Yeah, I'm thinking of my life.
You want to change your mind?
No, I'm not changing my mind. I'm still hoping that they step up, really.
That's UNIPORT, right?
Yeah, UNIPORT.
And for you, Powerful, you know, I think that OOU have less pressure on them because they know we can lose this game and still qualify. We have 6 points already.
Yeah.
Does that help? Are you seeing anything like that that suggests that the OOU students are a bit more relaxed than the UNIPORT students?
I think it's the other way around. We can see the UNIPORT students not even deciding to answer questions. My hope is that they're saving the best for last. And like you said, it's all about the second round. And let's see what that will look like in the brain matchup.
I'm getting back to the 10-1 arena for this epic, fantastic, and enormous clash. It is UNIPORT against OOU as we head over for the brain match. We'll be back to find out who the winner or loser is after now.
Starting with 100 bacteria and a growth rate of 4 per hour, what will the population be after 2 hours? If the temperature of a material drops from 20 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius, what is the change in temperature in Kelvin? If a person has a resting heart rate of 360 beats per minute, what is their heart rate in beats per second? Before 1971, Britain used a system of money where there were 12 pennies to a shilling and 20 shillings to a pound. How many pounds made 100 shillings? A piece of land trapezium in shape has the following sides: 24, 18, 15, and 20. What is the perimeter of this land?
20.
A basket contains 6 red and 3 blue balls. James takes out 2 balls. What is the probability that both balls are red? What is the hydrogen ion concentration of an acid solution whose pH is 6.0?
3.
In a sample of 1,000 voters, 540 voted for candidate A. What percentage of voters did not vote for candidate A? During intense exercise, John's heart rate is 240 beats per minute. How many beats is this in half an hour?
2,400 beats.
A product's price of 6,000 naira is reduced by 15% in January and another 10% in February. What is the new price of the product? An 89-meter ladder is placed 39 meters away from the wall. What height does the ladder reach on the wall?
80 meters.
A bacterial culture grows. From a group of 26 participants, 8 prefer hiking, 4 prefer swimming, and 14 prefer cycling. What's the median preference? What is the value of 0?
1.
There are red, yellow, and green lollipops in a bag. What is the probability of selecting a blue one?
1/3.
Out of 5 consonants and 3 vowels, how many words of 3 consonants and 2 vowels can be formed?
720.
If 3 coins are thrown simultaneously, the probability of getting at least 1 head is what? If A equals WXYZ, then the number of subsets in power set of A is 4. An unbiased coin is tossed 3 times. If the third toss gets head, what is the probability of getting at least 1 more head? A data set has a median of 40 and a quartile deviation of 15. What is the interquartile range?
25.
A bag contains 7 red candies and 3 green candies. If 1 candy is drawn at random from the bag, what is the probability that it is green in color?
13/20.
How many like both math and science? If 20 like math, 15 like science, and the total number of students is 35. A coffee shop offers 10 flavors of coffee.
100.
A committee of 3 people is to be formed from a group of 8
56.
people. How many different committees can be formed? If a data set has a skewness of 6, a median of 18, and a standard deviation of 4, what is the mean?
26.
If the average age of employees is 35 and the standard deviation is 5, what is the age of the employee who is 2 standard deviations away?
45.
Which country rich in resources started exporting natural gas to the West African gas pipeline in 2008?
Tanzania.
What term did astronomer William Herschel coin for the belt of star-like rocky objects located between Mars and Jupiter? In medicine, what 2-syllable term starting and ending with C?
Clinic.
Notes. Dash will not be a number of the given series 1, 8, 27, 66, 125.
66.
Statements all the phones are scales, all the scales are calculator. Conclusion, all the calculators are scales, all the scales are phones. Which of the following seasons is also known as autumn? Complete the analogy, bike is to road as boat is to dash. Complete the series, erosion is to weathering as maceration is to
Shredding.
Complete the series, cantankerous is to peaceful as confused is to
Clarity.
Complete the series, 25 is to 15 as 6 to 5 is
25.
Complete the series, rattle is to shake as swaddle is to
Paddle.
5 people were eating apples. A finished before B but behind C.
CADDE.
Jade is related to green in the same way as garnet is related to
Red.
the idiom rain check means
Postpone an offer.
the idiomatic expression learned by osmosis means learned.
Indirect exposure.
If 1st January 2020 was a Wednesday, then what day of the week?
Wednesday.
Right. Where is the origin of the brand Chanel?
Italy.
What meteorological word is the reverse of windward?
Forward.
What is Darth Vader's Star Wars character's real name?
Matsloan.
In Ant-Man, what was Scott Lang arrested for?
Burglary.
In the movie Transformer, what planet are Transformers from?
Cybertron.
Who is the father of the Igbos?
Une.
Which band released the 1987 album Appetite for
Westlife.
Destruction? In Forrest Gump, who said, "Run, Forrest, run"?
Connie Coran.
In 1894, the mathematician that predicted the radio
Lord
had no
Kelvin.
future. What was the name of Penguin's gang in Batman
The
Returns?
Red Circle Gang.
What is the name of the first African-American designer to head a French fashion house?
Virginia Blue.
How many people are on the field of field hockey?
22.
Which messenger god was Mercury's Greek equivalent according to Greek mythology?
Yeah, Emis.
Who spearheaded the 1930 salt march to Dundee to produce sea salt illegally, so evading a British tax in India? The shape of a football pitch is?
Rectangular.
The term double fault is
Tennis.
associated. In Jurassic Park, which character dies on
Robert
toilet?
Mulder.
Which popular Korean condiment is made from fermented fish sauce, chili?
Kimchi.
And many times you hear stuff like Ezekiel. That's exactly what Ezekiel has done for OOU, stepping up for them at the right time and giving them cause to be excited as to his quality in quarter 3 and quarter 4. OOU have beaten UNIPORT in this to amass 9 points from their 3 games. This is the creme de la creme, the best of the best, and they are showing that they really do have that ability on Nabisi Onabanjo University. But guys, Timmy, these guys were, I'm going to repeat that word again, certainly not timid. Their confidence level is out of this world, OOU.
Yeah. You can see it in the work. The guys at UNIPORT tried to get them back in the race.
Yeah.
But the OOU team, Ezekiel was just fantastic and just blew them out of the water.
Well, for you, Kwafo, you're going to be thinking about UNIPORT. They're not out yet officially.
Okay.
They're not out yet, but they'll be praying for some things to play out in their favor as to potentially, max difference, which I'll analyze with you guys in a bit. What did you make of the entire experience watching this full game?
So for me, I can see that the OOU guys have more confidence. They're really confident in themselves and they're really putting in a lot of energy. Quite all right. At some point, Nedum helped UNIPORT. It felt like, oh, okay, he was trying to revive them at some point, and then Ezekiel came and took over. So, and the way Ezekiel is answering the questions, it's like, oh, he already has it in his head, and he's very confident in his answers, and so I can see that, oh, you are really, really prepared to take this home, and so, it is what it is.
I believe that this competition, we are still moving forward, and I believe that we are going to come out with positive results. But the area I want us to just to improve on is the aspect of data analysis and applied mathematics. We need to sit tight and to read more and study more so that we can come out with positive outcome.
Unfortunately, we lost, but we tried our best. There was even a round the question that were coming out, very sure of it. Because of the negative marking, we decided not to answer any question because we were not sure of it, and we managed to skip through that round, and we were able to pick the subject for the brain match, and we won that particular one. Maybe the next time we try to do better.
Iliosico Boots is a charging boot for students in situations like that where they have, I have a scheduled class for 6 p.m. I can just go to the booth, charge it for a particular period of time.
So if there's no light, how do you charge with it?
So from the word Ilios means sun.
Sorry, no, I'm not a science student, I don't know.
It's a Greek word, so that means it's going to be solar powered.
All right.
So when it's solar powered, it's also secure. That means I can charge my phone at the comfort of my hostel. And I can also set a timer. I know, yes, in the next 1 hour, I can go back.
Pick it
and
up.
it's secure, it's just your biometrics. You can either use your biometrics or use padlock locks.
Okay, that's really cool.
And aside those Greenwich technology, you can also have an officer beside them. That way, in case if your phone is charged or you have elapsed your time, the officer can put in the master key and take in your phone.
Purple, where real estate, lifestyle, and convenience converge. Amplify your brand with our iconic LED screens, providing unparalleled visibility. Experience shopping, dining, and entertainment at Purple Maryland and Purple Lekki.
guys, welcome back to this side of life.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Charlie, I'm coming to you straight away. We'll see you guys. You know, tension on the catch is ball, have you?
No, not really. I trust my guys. You know, right now it's an easy race. They can almost just go through this program and not answer any question. No mistakes. It's almost the same position OOU were in. It's just cruising to the finish line at this point. They're lucky they got the second draw. And so they're not under the pressure to kind of finish strongly. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful time for us.
And for UNN, you know, powerful. They are powerful. You know, your name is powerful, the short form, but it just reminds me of powerful. They are a powerful university when it comes to pedigree and history. They have to step up with that tonight.
Yeah. So I'm hoping they step up as well. But now in this round, I'm supporting Covenant University. I'm taking a stand with Covenant University, but I'm also hoping that UNN steps up their game and try to cover in the gap, because I mean the gap is wide. So I'm hoping some magic can be done.
Based on our preparation, I think that by God's grace, you have a chance at doing something in this game before we leave. We just hope for the best. We have prepared, we have tried our best.
As a team, we have assessed all our matches. We won the first one, we lost the second one, and we've seen places that we need to improve on, our tactics that need to be changed, and we've been able to cover these things up. And going into this game, we are going there to put in our best.
What gives you that confidence about Covenant University, Powerful?
I've heard so much about Covenant University and how good they are with their work and their students. So I'm not surprised to see that they're doing well here as well. So which has also motivated me to be on their team. But still, I'm not putting down any team, because I believe everybody has their capacity and everybody has what, I'm sure they are prepared to come here. Obviously, they are prepared to come take the prize, right? So let's just see what this round holds for us.
Speaking about this round, let me just put the start so you can understand a bit more too around these schools. So when Covenant University got their only win so far, it was against UNIPORT. They got a 74 mark to 20 marks victory. And look at their stats. So 57 questions thrown at them in the brain match. We saw CU attempt 34 and UNIPORT attempted 23. What this shows us is CU are more accurate with their answers when they attempt, because there's not that much disparity between the attempted questions compared to the attempt from UNIPORT. But you look at their scores and you're like, these guys, the disparity is 74 to 20, showing that CU don't just attempt questions, but try to ensure they get it right when they do, Timmy.
Yes, and something that we're noticing as a trend across the 3 matches or 4 matches we've seen so far is that the school that tends to answer more questions tend to be more accurate and tend to win the matches. So there's the thing with the win behind your back, there's the confidence, and that's a very, very important point. That's something that we didn't see with the UNIPORT team in the last match, and UNN must come with their A game. They must show what they are made of, right? And that's what we expect to see from them. Yes, I'm a Covenant University grad, but I want an interesting match. I want a well-deserved victory for Covenant University, and that comes with UNN giving their
they really have. They have to prove themselves if they want to get victory in this, because UNN, I'm sure, there's a talk that he that is down needs fear no fall right now. They're already down as to their position without a win, and so they're scared of nothing. They're coming in here with their back against the wall. They want to fight. They know they still have their destiny in their hands, and that will count for them. So final thoughts, both of you are sticking with CU as your potential winners.
University.
It is University Duel 2025 Battle of the Best Brains. Please use the hashtag for this game to brag about your university, or check us out at University Duel to catch up with everything around this game. It's back to the 10:01 arena. JD Joy Daniels is ready as the quiz master with the students for competition. It's brain match in the second half, but first off, quick buzz.
What does Stan Lee's cameo act as in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Which fashion label is famous for its beige, black, and red check? Michael.
Gucci.
Which ancient city was the capital of the Inca Empire?
Machu
Alero.
Picchu.
What is the only Olympic game in which both men and women can simultaneously compete?
Tennis.
Olu? What is the name of the ocean current that influences the climate by warming the western coast of Europe?
Gulf Stream. Gulf Stream.
What item of clothing is sometimes stonewashed?
Shirts.
Where was the famous music group the Rolling Stones formed? What NHL award has the best regular season record?
Stanley Cup.
What famous musical instrument was invented by Antonio Stradivari?
Violin.
How many players are on a hockey team? Joseph.
Six.
Who is recognized as the primary founder of the Nigerian National Democratic Party, NN?
Herbert Macaulay.
What is the mixture of molten or semi-molten rock?
Lava.
What Spanish team formerly coached by Bernd Schotzer won the first 5 UEFA Champions League titles? The quantity of heat introduced into a substance is directly related to the alteration in which parameter represented by the symbol T.
Temperature.
What year was the first Star Wars released?
1977.
Who played Whitney Houston's bodyguard in the Bodyguard musical? Frank was the debut album of which artist? Frank was the debut album of which artist?
Frank Alice. Frank Alice.
What is the stage name for the artist whose real name is Peter Jean Hernandez?
Bruno Mars.
Which dish made from yogurt fresh milk cream is popular in Indian cuisine?
Curry.
Fifth. In the movie Lord of the Ring, who finally kills the Witch King? Who designed the original Jackie O handbag? Who won the Heisman Trophy in 2023? The famous music group The Beatles was formed at where? The instrument most commonly associated with the works of Mozart and Beethoven is what gift? The famous painting The Starry Night.
Vincent van Gogh.
How many Ring of Power were made for the race?
9.
Michael.
9.
Who won the Golden Boot in the 2020-21 Premier League? English singer Robin Scott had his greatest success performing as what letter of the alphabet, as which he released the song Pop Music in 1979. Which club has the most
Real Madrid.
drifts? The working principle of a pyranometer is based on difference in what? Which two words meaning large prize in French name the annual Formula One auto race through the streets of Monaco?
Grand Prix.
Who wrote the famous book The Lord of the Rings?
J.R.R. Tolkien.
The A term applies to paying off. The A term applies to paying off a debt over time, usually.
Amortization.
Where is Captain America from? Enemo.
Brooklyn.
What is the largest island in the Greater Antilles? Enemo.
Cuba.
Which was founded in the year 1992?
Syria.
Gifts. Which Peruvian G word is fertilizer from the excrement of seabirds and bats? What is the nationality of the fashion designer Kenzo?
Italian.
The principal members of the British rock group Beatles were all born in which city in England? The world's oldest golf tournament is what? Which former Spice Girl announced plans for a new fashion line in 2004? What is the number of players in each side of water polo? Which nation, with its capital in Port-au-Prince, shares a Caribbean island with the Dominican Republic? Crude oil with C20 and C30 is used as what?
Lubricating oil.
Which US fashion designer introduced the polo clothing line? Which body components are primarily composed of gifts?
Teeth.
Which Irish writer appeared on the Irish £10 note? Which Irish writer appeared on the Irish £10 note? Where did the fashion brand Versace ignite gifts? What is the nationality of Tommy Hilfiger? What nationality is Anna Wintour, who since 1988 has been the editor-in-chief of American Vogue magazine? Who is the founder of the brand Balenciaga?
Christopher Balenciaga.
The scientist who created the discovery?
England.
Gifts. What is the name of the ruling house of Monaco? The country where the world's only operating ocean thermal energy conversion is located is? What three-girl group, previously four, rose to prominence after winning the first British X Factor?
Little Mix.
Elaro. Which Disney film contains the song I just...
Lion King.
Elaro. What is Captain America's shield gift?
Vibranium.
How many African countries touch the equator? Which geographic area responsible for the naming of 3 African countries also lends its name to a type of domesticated bird? Which European city houses the bureaucratic center known as Whitehall? What term connected to precipitation best describes the New Guinea and Congo's densely forested regions?
Lady and gentlemen, what did you make of that? What you just saw?
Corona University showed what they were made of.
Yeah.
I like the fact that UNN tried to stage a comeback, but it was just not enough. Corona University finishing very strong.
Now we're moving on to what's to come. Back to the 10:01 arena now for the second half. It is brain match. It's now or never for UNN to show that they still deserve to be part of this competition. I'll foresee you to say, hey, private universities, now we get the power pass. This is where Joyce Daniels will still come through again with brain match and the competing students, as we'll find out at the end who joins OOU in the quarterfinals of University Duel 2025 Battle of the Best Brains.
A bacterial culture grows from 100 to 120 in 2 hours. What's the percentage
20%.
increase? A car depreciates by 20% each year. If the vehicle is currently worth $10,000, what will it be its value in 2 years?
6,400.
A student's score on CHM 203 test increases from 70 to 84. What's the
20%.
percentage increase? What's the percentage error in the measurement of a 0.25 gram day old chick taken to be 0.40?
60%.
The total mass of 400 concrete blocks is 2920 kg. Calculate half the mass of 1,800 concrete blocks. Richard has to travel 8,800 kilometers. How much time? If the slope of a line passing through 2 points A is 2, 3, and B, 6, 9 is 2, what's the equation of the line? If a particle is moving in space with a velocity of Vt equals t squared minus 2t minus 8, where t is. An enzyme-controlled reaction has a rate of 30 units per minute at a substance.
60.
A microscope magnifies an object from 6 millimeters to 18 millimeters.
50%.
A baker used 1,500 grams of flour to make 30 donuts. How much flour would he need? The elevation at a base camp is 3,000 feet.
3,500.
In a trial of 4,000 coin flips, 600 came up heads. What's the probability of getting heads in percentage?
15.
The population of an association
50%.
A rectangular field has a dimension of 12 cm by 15 by
0.0036.
If a company's inventory increases by 300 units but decreases by 0.075 times
1,500.
The Great Barrier Reef, the world's largest coral reef system, is located off the coast of which country? Which illegal and extremely addictive substance exhibits molecular resemblance to Novocaine, a dental anesthetic?
Cocaine.
What is the positive number which, when increased by 17, is equal to 60 times the reciprocal of the number? Identify the one that is different in the series IKG, NPJ, SUO, RTP.
SUO.
Which of the following does not belong in the group? Complete the series. Football is to stadium as concert is to dash.
Theater.
Complete the series. Lazy. Complete the series. Apocalypse to destruction as renaissance is to what?
Revolution.
Complete the series. Monkey is to primate as dash is to marsupial. Complete the series. Din is to racket as quiet is to dash.
Hush.
There are goats and hens in the garden. By counting heads, there are 80. The number of their legs is 200. How many hens are there? Ecology is related to environment in the same way as
history. History.
Phobia translates to the fear of what?
New areas. New areas.
A is B's sister, C is B's mother, D is C's father, E is D's mother.
I need to keep doing better in my life, really, because these boys and these girls are highly intelligent and very brilliant, and they also know what comebacks are all about in life. They never give up. That's important for UNN, and we're seeing them exude that here tonight. Joseph bringing his team back with a win in the second quarter as we go to the third quarter right now.
If the mean of a normal distribution is 50 and the standard deviation is 10, what?
1.
A student has 5 books and wants to arrange them on the shelf. How many?
120.
A bag contains 5 red balls, 3 blue, and what's the probability of drawing a blue?
3/8.
What is the interquartile range of a data set with a median of 15 and quarters of 10 and 20?
25.
When the arithmetic mean is multiplied by the coefficient of variation, what will be the resultant value?
Standard deviation.
What is the sum of 24 numbers whose mean is 40?
2,000.
The word fight can be arranged in how many
120.
Let B and C be the 2 finite suite sets such that NB equals 36, NC 40, and NC. If the sum of data involved in a mean calculation is 102 and the mean itself is 17, find the number of data involved.
6.
How many ways can you rearrange the word tumble such that the rearranged word starts with a vowel?
120.
A's salary is 50% more than B's. How much percent is B's salary less than A's?
50%.
A data set has a mean of 40 and a variance of 25. What is the Z-score of a data point with a value of 45?
1.
A bag contains 5 red, 3 blue balls. What is the probability of drawing 2 orange balls? How many committees of 3 can be formed from 7 people?
Cat 5.
2 dice are rolled. What is the probability that the sum of the numbers is 10?
1/9. 1/9.
What term connected to the precipitation best describes the New Guinea and Congo's densely forested regions?
Rain.
The northern end of the Great Rift is in which nation along the Mediterranean?
Egypt.
What integer originating from the Arabic word sefer signifies neither positivity nor negativity? What is Vivienne Westwood's middle name?
Stella.
What liquor means Cupid in Italian and love in
Lamoncello.
Which country is the largest producer of coffee in the world by holding on to the first
Colombia.
position? Who is the Golden Boot leader in the Champions League?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
What is the origin of the brand Burberry?
France.
Which superhero gains
Green
power
Lantern.
from a ring? Where is Venetian blinds invented?
Japan.
The electrolyte used in lithium-ion batteries is what?
Hidden-based gel.
In Peter Pan, what is the name of Captain Hook's?
Jolly Roger. Jolly Roger.
In Black Panther, what metal is Wakanda?
Vibranium.
In Avengers, how many Infinity Stones are there?
7.
Which is the sole nation starting with G that shares a border with the agency? In which city is the annual Wimbledon tennis tournament held?
London.
The name of the tennis player known as King of Clay is who?
Serena Williams.
The headquarters of the International Olympic Committee is located in which country?
Netherlands.
Which neighbor of the DRC does Africa also have mining
Nigeria.
Well, the unthinkable may just have happened as to the fact that Covenant University, who seem to have had the advantage, have lost it at the final moment. But would that matter enough for UNN, where they have won this battle 70 to 56 marks? Come on, man. That's the beauty of life, isn't it? And these are real-life experiences for these students, powerful, that you should never give up. Keep fighting to the end.
Yeah, so you remember when I said let's not look down on UNN because they can decide to prove us wrong and come up on their game, and I can see that. And Chimzu is really, he's like the, you know how Gift is the star of CU. Chimzu is like the star of UNN, and I can see that he's really putting in so much energy. He's tense, right? But then he's trying to see that he brings back his people to the top, and I'm proud of that.
Well, really have to be proud of these guys. But hey, what does this result mean in the general conversation of marching to the quarterfinal stage of University Duel 2025 Battle of the Best Brains? This is what it means. It is CU who have narrowly marched into the quarterfinal stage with a better differential when it comes to marks. 3 points for them, just like UNN, but their differential was plus 12. UNN, despite this win, was -2. Timmy, this is what you say, close but no cigar.
Yes, this is really what we want. You know, every time you go into this kind of competitions, you want to see everybody really, really compete. UNN really gave it their best all. Just quite unfortunate that it's just not going to be enough. It's got such a beautiful competition. It was a very strong finish. 3 out of 4 quarters. That's the way it needs to be. It's just very, very sad that they'll be going back to Osaka without being in the quarterfinal.
See, you have lost on the night. Is where they say you lost the battle, but you won the war. They've just done that, powerful.
Definitely.
Lose the battle, win the war, learn your lessons, go for another one, hope to win that.
Really
now they have joined OOU in the quarterfinal stage of University Duel 2025 as we have just wrapped things up from Group 3 at the end of Matchday 9. In a bit, we'll start preparing our minds for Matchday 10. Yeah, the guys are getting ready for that. I'll tell you about the fixtures shortly. Before that happens, still, it'll be nice for me to find out from Timmy what else he does with his life away from being that serious guy who studied engineering.
Yeah, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I run 2 startups currently.
Oh, great.
We're converting kekes from petrol engines to EVs, able to drop their cost by 50% on petrol. And we help people pay their rent. Again, dropping that cost by their cost of lending to 2% per month. Focus is really helping people solve their financial problems.
Nice, Chief. I'm coming to you, really. I'm coming to you, okay? And how about you, Wafu?
Oh, so for me, for now, I'm just focusing on my job because it's quite already, it takes most of my time already. So for now, I'm just on that. Maybe in the long run or over time, I can put in something in place as well. But for now, it's just my job.
So like, I wouldn't say I wasn't really sure of myself, but then I depended on my teammates, and then we were able to beat Covenant University. We have learned a lot of lessons from the games we've had, and then based on those lessons we had from UNIPORT and OOU, it shaped us to defeat Covenant University in the third game we just had now. Go UNN.
The quick buzz, I think we got 3 out of 4, so it was good score. That was the past games. Quick buzz has been our strong point, so then I guess maybe we just go down a little in the brain match. We actually started with a big lead in the mass, but over time it kind of dropped. But I think on point difference, I think we still qualify to the quarterfinals. We got 1 out of 3. It was not what we wanted, but hopefully it's enough to get us through.
Nice one, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, there will be so much more that you can catch on social media when you watch University Duel on TV. You can catch up with the behind the scenes and all the other things that these people are doing, both the contestants, the mentors, and the great persons who put their heads together to make this thing happen. Follow us at University Duel on all social media platforms to catch up with the pulsating action. My name is Chuma Nolly. We're done with Matchday 9, but we're not done with the competition. There's so much more to come, and the best you can do is to stick around and enjoy it for yourself. Don't just hear the story. See it, keep supporting that favorite university of yours, and you'll be thanking me for that later. I'll leave you with these words. In life, to pass your test and be first, you must always be at your best. Bye-bye.